Hello, my name is Marcy, and I'm going to be providing an overview of Murray Bowen's theory, his contributions to family systems therapy. I want to start off by talking about the parallels I see between Bowen's work and Freud's work. They are totally different uh, theories as to what drives human behavior, but there is one parallel. And that parallel is this. Uh, Freud hypothesized that much of human being neurosis came out of the fact of people being unable to uh, get past a certain psychosexual stage in their development. And he believed it was their unconscious desires that contributed to the fact that certain unconscious desires were not resolved, and that contributed to their pathology. And he believed that by making the unconscious conscious, one can no longer be fixated at a particular stage. Similarly, Bowen believes there are forces governing our behavior, but it's not the conscious and unconscious. He looks at the two poles affecting our behavior as one, our inherent need to be a individuated person, that is to have a sense of self, a sense of dreams, aspirations, and self fulfillment. He believes that that part of being human can at times be in conflict with the other side of being human, and that is to be connected with one's family. So, in essence, it is a dynamic theory. That's a parallel with Freud. It's a dynamic theory because we're looking at how human beings are affected by this inherent need to be an individual that can at times be in conflict with the need to be connected to family. And what Bowen theorized was that if we have those needs out of balance, that will, in fact, affect us. And if we lean too much, say, on the side of being connected to our family of origin, to be in sync with their needs, over the top and enmesh with them, that can lead to significant pathology. So, part of Bowen's theory is for individuals to learn that they are separate from their family, that they have unique dreams and desires, and to learn how to express those and be aware of that. So, he views the differentiated individual as healthier and higher functioning than an individual who is enmeshed in the family's affect. And he believes that if a person is not aware of how, if a person is not aware of their emotional reactivity within the family, that can pretty much govern their behavior. So that was one concept of differentiation that Bowen hypothesized. The other aspect of differentiation that Bowen looked at was that one needs to differentiate feelings from emotions. He believes that if a person was able to attain this skill, that they would be making. So, in essence, without without proper balancing of these two inherent parts of being human, a significant anxiety could develop, particularly if one is leaning more in favor of being attuned to family and society's needs, looking at others as a source of wholeness versus ourselves. And he believes if this was not addressed in the person and or in the family, that the anxiety that is manifested because we're in this conflictual state, and perhaps denying our own individual needs, that particular anxiety can be passed down from generation to generation, Thereby, his theory was called transgenerational theory because he believed after 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 generations, the anxiety that's developed through these families um, becomes toxic. Alcoholism, mental health disorders, he believes, are attributed to the fact that families did not deal with the anxieties. So that's kind of the underpinnings. Um, so one of his goals in therapy, one of his first goals in therapy, is to make the client less emotionally reactive. Okay, so the client is the family, um, and to make them less emotionally reactive, and to differentiate um, the individual members from the family as a unit, so they can um, think um, and express their own needs, desires, and wants, and at the same time, with the goal being able to consider the family's feelings, but not at the cost of their own. He theorizes that it was those that balance the two that are most most are functioning well. So the goals of therapy are to differentiate um, the self within the context of the family, to reduce emotional reactivity, to reduce fusion, and to de-triangulate. And triangulation is a core concept of Bowen's, in that he saw triangulation as a way to either increase anxiety or decrease anxiety. It's a process that usually occurs out of one person's awareness. For instance, if you have a family who is functioning fine and they have a good communication and a dedicated relationship, and a baby comes along, that baby can upset the homeostasis, and perhaps the father, his sense of his self is tied in to being a husband, and all of a sudden, baby comes along, and that kind of turns his sense of self upside down because now he's daddy. Um, and so that can be a situation where a triangle emerges. And when a triangle emerges, that can be a cause of anxiety. Alternatively, it can be a way to reduce anxiety. Um, Oftentimes, if there's trouble in a marriage and the tension is very tight, a, um, a person can reach out to a third member of the family in order to diffuse some of the negative energy between the two. So, as you can see, triangulation works both ways. And one of the concepts in Bowen's therapy is to detriangulate the system, and doing that through communication. Um, in the later stage of therapy, the therapist works on helping the families reconnect and resolve problems, improve relations, and they do some work on and grief and loss. And the interventions tied to this, Bowen's theory, are teaching I statements, educating educating the family on the stages of life, the developmental stages of life, looking at grief, uh, conducting genograms, bibliotherapies, differentiating between thoughts and feelings, doing role play, home visits, empty chair, and letter writing. These are all interventions under Bowen's theory. And the role of the therapist is to act as a researcher and a guide, to be objective and to stay neutral. Let's see if I covered it out. I believe I did. Um, the 5 stages of therapy are to act like a coach in the beginning, look for triangles, look for projections, look for particular behavior patterns. In the assessment, you're doing a genogram. to see how the family responds. Look at boundaries, toxic issues. Look at cutoffs, emotional cutoffs. That's another concept of Bowen, as he believes that people that are engaged in an enmeshed family where the anxiety is just too much over the top, to relieve that anxiety, they will actually cut themselves off um, physically from that family, or they will cut themselves off emotionally and keep it all in, and again, causing anxiety. Um, in the middle stage of therapy, you're looking at differentiating. You're looking at opening up a closed system. You're talking about toxic issues. Latter stages of therapy, you're doing home visits and learning acceptance, doing letter writing, that type of thing. Um, I believe that's it. That's it. Okay.